Hey, how are you guys doing? My name is Jay, and this is Christian Recovery and Hope and Faith Today. I'm so blessed to be here and thankful that you're here uh, listening to this video about anger. Look, a lot of us have dealt with anger in our lives, whether justified or unjustified, and some of us actually deal with anger issues, physical, verbal anger or frustration that manifests itself in hurting somebody physically or mentally. And so if you fit in those categories, um, there is a way to get out of it, a way to find a better way to deal with your anger issues and a better way to find peace. A lot of times we talk about hurt people hurt people. And when you are somebody who's hurting from a past event, a past trauma, past grief, something that happened in your life that you really haven't dealt with, that can manifest itself in anger. I know there was an issue that happened when I was 12 years old that I didn't deal with until about 4 years ago. And when I finally dealt with it, when I finally got rid of it or started to work on that issue, I was able to deal with the anger that I was having. And my wife and kids can tell you that yes, I used to be an angry person, and I still am at sometimes because I'm a human being, and I still like you don't turn away 30 years of acting a certain way overnight. And I've been 4 years into dealing with my anger. So how long have you been dealing with your anger? Or if you haven't been dealing with your anger, how long have you been angry? And I hope that you're here to find out how you can deal with your anger, how you can overcome the anger issues that you may be dealing with. So if you were angry at somebody, or angry at yourself, or angry at your pastor, or angry at somebody in your life, or trying to control somebody in your life, or even angry at yourself, there's a way to get through all that. We can't do it overnight. It's not a thing that where you just go in and you say, okay, yes, I'm angry, and then it's done. You have to get down to the root cause of that anger. And we have to figure out a different way to deal with that anger. For instance, once we find out that root cause of our anger, then we need to learn to deal with that anger by expressing our feelings in a reasonable and rational way, or converting our anger into constructive behavior. For example, if you're angry or frustrated at somebody, but you don't want to yell or get into an argument or get into a fight with them, go do something constructive that'll help you cool down. Like, what is a hobby that you enjoy? Or what is something you can do that will help you cool down? Once you are able to calm down and cool down, the feelings of anger will subside. And then you'll be able to come back and have a reasonable, rational conversation about what it is that you were dealing with, or whatever the struggle was, or whatever the conversation was about. So what are some common causes of that anger? Well, stress. Stress is a huge cause of anger. Maybe you're stressing about money, or stressing about your job. Maybe you don't like your job. Maybe you don't think you make enough money. Maybe you are, maybe you think your spouse doesn't make enough money. Maybe, somebody in your life spends too much money, or you just have some kind of stress in your life that you're not dealing with, or you're not talking about. Another one is not feeling appreciated or treated fairly, and you need to maybe let go of some of the expectations that people have around you. It may feel like, I do all this stuff all the time, but nobody ever does anything for me. Well, have you asked them to do something for you? Maybe try that. Say, hey, look, can you do X, Y, and Z for me? don't say like, hey, you gotta do X, Y, and Z for me, but maybe ask, hey, look, I would really appreciate it if you would do this. All right. We've already talked about work. Maybe it's a relationship issue with your spouse or with a girlfriend or with your parents even. It could cause some anger with that. Or maybe you suffered from violence or abuse in some way, shape, or form. But we just need to work on our anger issues. Maybe you need to go see a counselor. Maybe you need to be in a recovery program where you honestly deal with the issues that are causing or have caused you to be angry. Like I said earlier in the video, one of the things that caused me to be angry was an issue that I had when I was 12. And I didn't deal with it then, and I carried it for 30 years. And when I finally decided to deal with it, I finally found peace. And that peace is undescribable. Now, that's not to say I don't have angry outbursts every now and then. I'm human, and I dealt with it for 30 years. But there's a way to deal with it now, and it's different than it used to be. So I hope that you guys have gotten something out of this. If you need to talk to somebody or get into counseling or talk to a recovery specialist or something, there's a link down below to some counselors and to a recovery program, and you can find one near you. All right? I hope that you guys are blessed and that you work on your issues like we all work on ours and find a better way to deal with it. You know, Jesus Christ will help you with it if you give it to him. One of the things we say in the Serenity Prayer is we have to give it to him, because we're powerless to control our tendencies to do the wrong thing. And we will do the wrong thing if we don't give it to God. All right? I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Be blessed.